All right, everybody, what's going on? And welcome to today's edition of SWAC Talk, the show we cover the SWAC inside and out. Of course, I am your tour guide around the SWAC Seawells coming at you. And we're just gonna do a little quick news and notes episode. Got a couple things I'm working on, so I want to kind of get in, get out, and get that stuff ready for you for the upcoming week. Before we start, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Father figures, fathers, role models, mentors, whatever, man. Salute to you guys for doing what you do. So continue. Hopefully, have a good day, and you get to chill a little bit and watch a little swag talk. Also, the socials are scrolling on the screen down below, so you can check those out. Instagram is Swag Talk, Twitter Swag Talk 76, Facebook Swag Talk, Gmail Swag Talk 76 at gmail.com. And if you want, you would love to show a little love to the show, you can hit the Cash App and make a little donation, $ Swag Talk. So you can do that if you like. It'd be much appreciated. If you haven't done so already, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Channel is growing pretty rapidly, so why don't you go ahead and make that subscription and hit that notification bell, because we got some videos coming your way this week that you don't want to miss. So make sure you hit that notification bell, because we got a lot of new things coming down the pike. So don't miss none of it by not being subscribed and not having that notification bell hit. Like the videos and share them, and feel free to comment on anything that you like. So let's go ahead and jump into this, man. Like I said, this is just a quick news and those type of things. Just wanted to kind of put a little something out there, a little of this, a little of that, like I like to say. We're going to start off with something that a lot of people have been clamoring about for a while, since 2013, when the NCAA series was stopped. EA Sports has announced, I guess like in the last year, that they were bringing back their NCAA football game. It's slated to come out in July of 2023. And if you're a gamer, especially like you're an old school gamer, like, remember like the early NCAA football, like 97, 98, 99, I think maybe like 2000, they had FCS teams on there, and especially they had a SWAC and MEAC. At one point they had the Heritage Bowl, and all of that kind of stuff. So, that that's something that a lot of people are clamoring for. But right now, the word is that they're bringing this game back, but the focus initially is obviously FBS teams. Matt Brown from extrapoints.com, he made information request to EA Sports, and he got some information on where the game stands right now. Right now, they're in the process of reaching out to all schools to make sure that they get the assets that they need for the game, like stadiums and music and different graphics and things like that. So they're still kind of in the planning stage, where I'm sure that they're coding and programming now, but they're putting together all that. They did say that at this point on rollout that obviously they're going to be FBS first. There is talks of DLC, which is downloadable content, that could be FCS teams and HBCU teams and FCS teams. But right now the focus is 8 FBS teams. Right now they're working on a payout for schools, using a tier system. How you finish in the FCS top 25. Tier 1 schools would get $104,000. Tier 2 teams, $62,000. Tier 3, $41,000, and Tier 4, $10,000. So obviously, there are some more logistics that have to be worked out if FCS teams are taken into account. DLC is something that could be done in the future, but I'm not really holding out hope on that, because DLC means you have to pay for. Most times DLC means you have to pay for the content. So I don't want to have to pay extra to play as a SWAC school when I could play as that school on rollout. So right now, if you're looking for this game to be something that you can, put in and play and pick your favorite SWAC school, I don't see that happening in the immediate future. if the demand is high enough and everybody makes enough noise and everybody, lets them know that we need to be in this game, then, maybe they do DLC. Maybe they put you in the next year's version. I have some concerns on the game as a whole. As a gamer, I'm not really gonna go too deep into what my concerns are about it. I mean, if you play Madden regularly, then you know where I'm coming from with concerns about the actual gameplay and things like that. So I'm not gonna really touch too much on that. Um, there's conflicting reports that state that the SWAC has been contacted. Somebody said that they have. Um, the guy who wrote the article, he stated that in his request that he didn't hear anything about any FCS teams being contacted, but somebody claims that the SWAC has been contacted, and it's up to the presidents to make that decision if they want to be in the game. So I'm going to take that with a grain of salt at this point, but I just wanted to kind of touch on this because I know a lot of people have been, asking for this game. And, I'm one of those people who, I bought NCAA football, every year that it was out when it stopped in 13 with the NCAA 14 game. I was lost because, I played that probably more than I had played Madden at some points. So hopefully, with this and, having the guys being able to be paid for their likeness, this can be something that can continue to grow. If they don't include FCS teams, hopefully they have a team builder option where you can make your team like you could on like NCAA 13 and 14, where you could make your team, make your uniforms and all of that. But, it's not the same as, having them say who the school is and all of that when you turn on the game. So I'm just hoping for the best out of this situation. Hopefully, it works out and, the game comes out. Maybe we get some FCS teams in this. If we had to wait a year for that to happen, maybe, that'd be cool too. But just kind of wanted to put a little bit out in the air on that, excuse me, on where we stand on that, because, I know that's a hot button thing with a lot of people. People been asking for this game for years and, finally got an opportunity to get it. And hopefully, we can get some teams involved in it, because hey, SWAC is hot right now. I mean, you're probably gonna get more people buying the game if they knew that the SWAC teams would be in it, especially people who don't normally buy games. Maybe they'll buy it on the strength of that. But at the same time, maybe we can get a re-release, updated version of the HBCU game that came out in the early 2010s. That game was pretty okay. Maybe they can refine it and re-release that, and get us some HBCU football that way. Let's move on to something that's not a SWAC story per se, but it always will affect the SWAC, and that's Howard University. They decided they're not leaving the MEAC. They're going to stay in the MEAC. They're not going to the Colonial Athletic Association. So that's big for the MEAC, because with Howard declining the invitation to join the MEAC, that keeps the MEAC at a number that they've been at pretty regularly. The conference probably still needs a couple more teams to strengthen it up, but with Howard, stating that they would stay, they still have six football teams, so that keeps them as an official conference, and keeps them with those numbers. So that's big for the MEAC in the near future. That's big for the SWAC, because now obviously you don't have to really worry about what would happen with the Celebration Bowl if this team was to leave their conference. I'm still, expecting the MEAC at some point in the near future to expand and maybe add a couple of teams. But I still also wouldn't say that they're out of the woods with other teams looking to leave. I'm sure that, there's a few other schools that will be getting inquiries from conferences, or they may be putting out fillers themselves. So that the MEAC is not out of the woods right now. I don't think they're dead, but I don't really think they're hopping and jumping around either. So this is at least something that'll stabilize them for the time being. And for now, the MEAC is pretty steady, and for the next few years, the Celebration Bowl should still be on as it has been previously. So a lot of A lot of demise of the MEAC was talked about earlier. You know, a lot of people felt that it was dead. Now they're hanging on. I always said that if you're a wrestling fan, then you remember how Impact Wrestling or TNA used to be like every year people said they was gonna die, and every year they still hung on and they still, you know, doing their thing now to some degree. So the MEAC to me is like the Impact Wrestling of FCS football. They're kind of hanging in there. We keep saying they're gonna die, and they keep finding lifelines. So hopefully, you know, this comes can continue to stay. It's big for the MEAC for one big reason. Howard was a founding member of the conference, and they've been here the whole while. So that's you want to hold on to as many key founding members as you can if you possibly can, and because that's just a stabilizing force for your league. So I thought that was something that I was really glad to hear that they were able to keep that going. Jumping over to our next topic, and this is something that really is a good thing. The Black College Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. They inducted their class of 2022 last night. A lot of good name guys, some SWAC names on here, but we'll run through the names of everybody. Ben Coates, who was, if you New England Patriot, former New England Patriot tight end, played at Livingstone College from 1987 to 1990. He finished his college career with 103 receptions, 1,268 yards, and 18 touchdowns. He was selected by the Patriots in the 91 NFL draft. He played for New England from 91 to 99, 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, Super Bowl 35 champ. He also played for the Ravens for 1 year in 2000. This was a guy who was, just one of the prototypical tight ends, the guy who came from out of nowhere, so to speak, and made his mark. He was a typical New England Patriot type of dude, a guy that they would find that nobody really knew and would just put in work. I remember using him on Madden many years, 2,000 receiving yards as a tight end, man. That dude was amazing. Donald Driver, Alcorn State Brave, Green Bay Packer. He played for Alcorn from 95 to 98. He finished his college career with 88 receptions, 1,993 yards, 5-time Athlete of the Year, selected by the Green Bay Packers in the 7th round of the 99 draft. He also ran track at Alcorn. He was a Packer from 99 to 2012, 4-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion. He was Green Bay Packers franchise leader for receptions and yards. Just a guy who was a big playmaker. If you watch Donald Driver play, he could get open deep and he could make plays all game long. And he definitely did that in the NFL and in college. Big time name. John Big Train Moody. He is a running back from Morris Brown College. He was the Black College National Champion in 1940. He accumulated 290 points and set a record for black college football players, which stood until 1948. He was an All-American as well. So that's history. That's a name that we all need to learn about. Nate Newton, Dallas Cowboy, offensive lineman, FAMU, big time player, 1979 to 1982, All MEAC conference tackle in 1980. Washington football team in 83. Tampa Bay Bandits in 84 through 85, Dallas Cowboys 86 to 98, 6-time Pro Bowler 1992 to 96 and 1998, 2-time All-Pro. He also played for the Carolina Panthers in 99. Roscoe Nance, who was one of the first reporters for the Clarion Ledger in Jackson, first SWAC reporter. He was the paper's first black sports writer and journalist. He was later known around the country as the Dean of Black College Sports. Sports writers 1978 to 1985, USA Today sports writer 1986 to 2007. He was a founder, member, and president of the SWAC Alumni Association. He was born in December 8, 1948. Unfortunately, he passed in January 9th of 2020. So Roscoe Nance is definitely a huge contributor to all of HBCU sports. Definitely a big name on the media side. William Billy Nix. If you're a Prairie View Panther, then you know this name very well. He was the head coach at Morris Brown from 1930 to 1935, and from 37 to 39, and 41 to 42. Then he went to Prairie View from 45 to 57 and 52 to 65. His record at Morris Brown was 65, 21, and 13. His 1941 team was named the Black College National Champions by the Pittsburgh Courier. His record at Prairie View was 126, 36, and 8, the winningest coach in Prairie View history. He led the Panthers to 5 Black College National titles and 6 SWAC titles. You know his name; he's all over the place. Big time head coach. You know, one of the best in the SWAC to come out of there. And finally, Mr. Sammy White, wide receiver from Grambling State, 1972 to 1975, first team All Conference selection in 93 and 73 and 75. As a senior, he caught 37 passes for 802 yards and 17 touchdowns. 17 touchdowns on 37 receptions, man. That's just bananas. He was selected by the Vikings in the second round of the 76 draft. Associated Press Rookie of the Year, UPI, NFL, NFC Rookie of the Year, 2-time Pro Bowl selection in 76 and 77. He played for the Vikings from 76 to 85. He had 128 career games, 393 receptions, 6,400 yards, and 50 touchdowns. Just a great player, man. You know, one of those long line of Grambling guys that came through and did work in the pros. So just wanted to point these guys out and salute them and recognize them for the work that they did. And I'm glad that they were able to be inducted into the Black College Hall of Fame. And hopefully, you know, the guys who haven't made it will make it to the NFL Hall of Fame at some point. So just wanted to touch on that. Just a couple of other things before we get out of here. The portal is still, you know, teams are still, you know, getting guys out of the portal. It's been hot and heavy the last few days, so I haven't had a chance to really put together a list of guys who have come in. But I know Alabama and them picked up a couple commitments. Grambling got a couple guys in. You know, JSU is steady throwing out offers and getting, you know, guys to consider to come play for Coach Prime. Southern's had, you know, 3 commitments, transfer commitments in the last week. FAMU's picking up some guys. Bama State, you name it, man. There's a lot of buzz going on about the conference, and guys are interested in coming to play. Teams are, you know, doing camps right now, and they're getting a lot of good offers out of that. So right now, it looks like the conference is, you know, like the conference is on the upswing as far as, you know, potential goes. We'll see if the season can match. Obviously, you know, I'm excited about that. I will be putting out at some point an updated order of finish. I threw out one really early a few weeks ago, but now with a little bit more information going out, you know, I like to make a better version of that. I'm working with my boy Jamie G. I'm putting together an all-decade SWAC team early. At this point, we're gonna work on that. Got a couple other things, that's gonna come through on the show. Like I said, I got a couple good interviews coming this week as well, so make sure you tune in for that. And that's pretty much it for the day, man. Like I said, I just wanted to pop in and drop a little bit of news and notes on you. And, you know, you guys enjoy your Father's Day out there, man. Salute to my father out there, Charles E. Wells, a.k.a. Chucky Wells. If you're a Southern person, you probably know him. You've seen him for sure. So just want to salute him out and everybody else, man. All my boys, you know, all y'all salute. And hope you guys have a good day. And don't let them work you too much on Father's Day, man. That's real talk. Mama get to relax on Mother's Day, so don't let them work you too hard, man. So with that being said, I'm your boy C. Wells, signing out. Catch you guys on the rebound. Peace.